It's true, Sean.
What are you talking about? What's true?
All of it. You know all of it. You know it.
So where can I find this truth? It
On the Pop Bros Network, because this is a Pop Bros exclusive.
Did you just want to act like Han Solo again?
You know, doing a promotional spot isn't like dusting crops, boy. What's up, everybody? I'm Richard.
And I'm Sean.
And we're speaking the language of bromance.
And Richard, you and I are looking at each other eye to eye.
Yeah, our eyes have met.
In a hotel room. Because it is Brocation 2.0.
Yay! And then we just, I see, this is the part where I'd make a joke that I'm not wearing pants, but right now we're periscoping.
We're periscoping this, so
we're periscoping, so I can't make a joke because then everyone will call me a liar.
Yep, and that's not good. Not good at all.
Everybody hates it.
So we are live from Podcast Movement 2016. We've done our brocation here in Chicago, Illinois.
You should show people Chicago.
Yeah.
There's a giant window over there.
So yeah, there you are looking outside if you're on Periscope. You can't see it if you're listening to this in the future. But trust me, we're showing
the year 2000.
So I don't really know how we're doing this very well. It's mainly just the Richard show on Periscope, but this is probably the only time we'll use Periscope.
Wait a minute, is that because I'm on it?
Yeah, it's because you're on it.
Oh.
You're getting hearts, though.
Aw. They love me.
All right.
Hooray, instant gratification.
All right, so lots of stuff has happened. This is the last night we'll be here.
So many things.
I guess. Do you want to start with? Let's go from the beginning all the way to the end.
Okay.
So I left Tuesday morning. About 1:30, right?
I don't know what time. I wasn't there.
O'clock. Yeah, so it was early morning driving, and I got pulled over.
You got pulled over.
I did. In my tiredness, I didn't really know which direction I had to turn.
He was drunk.
I was drunk. No, I wasn't drunk. I was fine.
He was drunk.
But as I was driving, there's a turn to get on the highway that I forgot was there, so I passed it. What happens? Cop flips on his lights and pulls me over, which is understandable. Early morning, somebody driving erratically, you'd want to get pulled over for that. Could have been drinking. Yeah. I wasn't, but
he was.
So, he comes up. He waits a little bit before he comes up, and he just asks. He's like, "You all right?"
Uh-oh.
I'm like, yeah, I'm fine. Just, driving since 2, didn't know which, missed my turn. He's like, all right.
Like, I'll blow you. Anything to get out of this thing. I got places to be. I can pull it off. Give me 5 minutes. I'm great with my hands. I can switch hands and gain a stroke.
That's probably how I got out of the ticket.
That is how he got out of the ticket.
Oh, God. So he's like, all right, I was just checking to make sure you're all right. And I get back on the highway and I'm driving.
He's driving.
And I think, because he got off on the the exit ramp as I did, so I thought he was going to be following me for a little bit. And it's like 30, 40 miles. And I still have what I thought was the same lights behind me following me. I thought the cop had followed me for like 40 miles. So
that's nerve-wracking.
It was a little bit.
Because if it was a cop that was just following you, that's one thing. Like, that's slightly nerve-wracking. But if he had just pulled you over and then followed you for another 40 miles, like, that would drive me insane. Like, at some point, I think I would stop and pull over and be like, oh, I just had my phone went off. And
that was the bad thing, too. So since I knew he was behind me, because whenever you're trying to change, songs on your phone or...
Plus, you're on a timetable.
Yeah. If I got held up for a little bit, it'd take a while to get there.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I had to be at your house within an hour from there.
Yeah.
So what happened after that? So
he doesn't know.
So like I said, I thought he was following me for like 40 miles.
Which
made it extremely difficult whenever I wanted to flip podcasts or change, something, because it's like, well, it's early in the morning, I'm super tired. If I have to flip channels, I'm probably going to touch the yellow line. Just early in the morning, I'm not a great driver to begin with.
Okay.
So this 40 miles, I'm just, being super cautious with that. And all of a sudden, he starts to get up on my bumper and start to pass me.
All right.
I'm doing like 66, 67. He's doing like 69. So he's not even going very fast.
What was he doing?
69.
Ah.
So, just like super, super slowly trying to
See, if
pass
you would have
me.
done that in the first place, probably would have gotten to have a ticket.
That's a good point.
Ah.
But, so, you don't want to make eye contact either, right? Because it's like you don't want to have him look at you and have the Super Troopers type of situation happen. But as he got closer, I looked over. It was a fucking Camaro. Wasn't even the cop.
Whole time you're driving 40 miles and you're like, oh my God, this cop.
Yeah.
I just want him to go away. Why won't he go away? I swear to God, I'm going to lose my mind. Oh, it's a Camaro. Not even a cop.
But after that, it was clean getting to you and picking you up, and we made our way to.
You picked me up at 4 a.m.
4 a.m.
4 a.m.
That was early.
I've been riding on like maybe an hour and a half of sleep when you picked me up. You picked me up at my house. I was on an hour and a half of sleep because my wife really wanted to keep me awake because it was right after 4th of July. We put the kids to bed, and she was, sad that I had to leave and whatever. And so, yeah, I was on like an hour and a half of sleep when you picked me up. So I was excited, but I was quite exhausted. I was a tired puppy.
Yeah, I don't think you dozed off on the way to the train.
No.
We get to the train station. The best part is as we're waiting for the train to show up.
Oh, yeah.
It shows up and it passes us. And what number train was it, Richard?
It was train 69. Train 69. And as soon as we saw it without words. We looked at it and saw the train number like whiz by, 69. We turned and looked at each other and then just high-fived. Because that's what men do. Yeah.
Train ride back home, or train ride to Chicago was pretty uneventful, though, I think.
You were very scared. You seemed creeped. Okay, for people that have ever ridden on a train, you know how a train goes? Like, we're talking about a rail system. The rail system's been around since the, mid-1800s, if not earlier. And so the rail system, it has its bumps, it has its shakes, it has its, it clanks. You're on the train, you feel the ride.
Yeah,
and
you get bumpy after a while.
As it was going, every time there was kind of like a shift. I think Sean, I think you in your head, you're used to planes. Like in a plane, like things are very like streamlined and smooth. And if you feel like a bump or something like that, it's because you ran into turbulence. It's because there's some kind of problem.
Yeah.
And so when you're on the train, and every time there's like a shift, you're like, oh. Like your eyes got really wide.
I started doing that for comedic effect.
You started, or it was that way, and then I pointed it out, and then you were doing it for comedic effect.
I didn't.
Because that first time, I really didn't. I really wasn't.
First time, it did startle me a little bit. This whole train like rocks back and forth.
Yeah, you were. I was like, "Ooh, scared bunny."
There's a lot of ways that I expect myself to die in this life. Shark attacked by emus.
Yeah.
Caught in a
emus, giant ass birds.
Yeah, or a bonobo
like they're gonna
orgy
peck.
to death.
They're gonna peck my eyes out,
or get caught in a bonobo orgy to death, or something like that. Which might be fun.
Except they're chimps. It'd be like a Futurama thing. It'd be like death by snoo.
But dying in a train accident is not one thing that I thought I would ever think would happen to me, because I don't ride trains that much. I've been on a train 3 times in my life.
Really? What were the other 2?
I came up to Chicago in high school for the Spanish club. Wasn't even in the Spanish club that year. I just
so for the Spanish club, it's like, let's go to Chicago.
Basically,
it's not let's go to Mexico.
Well, I mean, it's a small town. They can't afford to go to maybe Mexico, Missouri. That's about it.
Wouldn't need to take a train there.
Nope, you wouldn't.
No.
But yeah, I was a little scared on the train ride up. We get up here, we get our Uber.
Uber.
Yeah.
Who doesn't love an Uber?
We've used Uber a few times.
Uber.
Trying to think, we really haven't much eventful stuff with Uber. The first guy was probably the most talkative.
No, I did have that problem where the second time I tried to get it, it was being dumb. That was it. That's the whole story.
Well, yeah, I guess we did have to cancel one and had
we had to cancel one.
Which is, it's kind of like when you would rent a movie and you would never watch it.
Right.
You're like, I'm paying for this even though I'm not using it.
Yeah. Now you're paying to deal with the the non-convenience.
Yeah.
Then we went to a game.
Went to a ball game. Went to Wrigley Field.
Went to Wrigley Field.
Which we met Dave, one of
the
our
famous Wrigley Field.
Dave from the LOB Army.
Oh my God, Dave is amazing.
Yep, that was pretty awesome.
Dave's in the upper echelon. Dave is a listener, super listener. I feel like I should give him all the praise in the world.
Yeah, I mean he hooked us with tickets. He gave them to us.
Gave us tickets to a game.
Great seats.
Amazing seats.
Took us to a comic book shop, an old school comic book shop.
I felt so bad because you two were kind of talking, which is I didn't want to kind of jump into your guys' conversation. I was super enamored with this comic book shop because it wasn't really it was a comic shop, but it kind of wasn't. It was a lot of vintage movie posters and stuff like that, all on
newspapers.
Boards. Yeah. I'll tell you what though, the comics, I was very upset with the comics. No bags, no boards.
Savages.
Bloody savages. Kind of a world. No bags, no boards. They're fucking comic books and older comic books. You bag and board those bitches. Son of a bitch. I was angry. I almost said something. I think I did under my breath. I'm bags and boards.
You said something out loud.
Oh, did I?
Yeah.
Oops.
Maybe
that's why we left abruptly.
Yeah, pretty much. Dave's like,
all right, time to go.
Dave's like, I come here daily. But yeah, that was awesome to get to go there. What was your thought on the game? Because I know you're not a big sports fan.
I like sports. I'm not a big baseball fan. The game in and of itself, I think I've come to the conclusion that it seems like with baseball, the closer I am to watching it, then the more interested I am in it. If that makes sense, I would not watch a game on television. If I watched a game on television, I would find it extremely boring.
Yeah.
That's me. I'm not, not slamming it or anything. I'm just saying my personal preference. I couldn't watch a baseball game on television.
Gotcha.
If I sat in, I've been to about 3-4 baseball games in my life, including this one. And the first couple, I was in nosebleed kind of seats. Still pretty bored. Last game I went to before this one, I was fairly close. I was still in kind of an upper deck kind of situation. I was more interested. We were up closer to the end of this balcony area, so that was interesting. This time we were
super close.
Super close.
We were
and I was way more enamored with I was way more involved and interested in what was going on the field.
Yeah. I mean, it definitely seems more realistic, obviously realistic, but you feel like you're more into the game.
And I had Sean to answer my baseball questions.
Yeah, you had a baseball question.
I'm like, oh, what's that?
What's that leather thing on their hands?
Is that a bat?
What's that white
Who's
thing
that guy? Is that like Batman? Oh, I like Batman.
When's the cheerleaders coming?
And then he made me be quiet.
Yeah, that's true. I was getting embarrassed. Yeah,
You're embarrassing.
Ball game was great. What did we do that night? I don't remember what we did that night.
You know what we did that night. Ooh, yeah. No, that night, let's see, we got back from the game, and I fell
asleep.
I did.
Dickhead.
I was on, like I said, I was on an hour and a half sleep from that night, and then the day before that, I was on 2 hours sleep, so I had been running on 3 hours sleep for the last 2.5 days. So yeah, I got back to the room. It was 7 o'clock at night. I laid down. I was like, hey, I'm going to, just kind of chill here for a bit. Passed out, slept for 10 hours straight.
Yeah, I know. I was sitting here. You fell asleep, and I was like, well, I'll let him sleep for an hour or so. So I had skipped breakfast. I didn't really eat. I ate a brat at the ball game. So that's all I had eaten. So I was pretty hungry.
He was a hungry baby.
So Richard passes out. I'm like, oh, I'll let him take a nap for a little bit. Hour and a half goes, or about an hour goes by. I'm like, hey, Rich, you want to go down the bar, grab something to eat, or do you want to go get something somewhere? No, I'm good. Rolls away from me and snuggles back up with his pillow. So I give you another hour.
I imagined it was Glenn.
It was Glenn.
It was Glenn.
Or Tiger Man. He came back.
Ooh, Tiger Man.
So you're laying there in bed, and I give you another half hour. I'm like, hey, Rich, you want to get something to eat? Nothing.
I was out cold.
I think I waited another 15 minutes again. Nothing.
Oh, dude, I passed out like a drunk prom date. I was done.
Yes, you were
laid down, and like I said, I slept for 10 hours straight. I woke up. Next time fell asleep at like 7 that night. I was up again like 4 in the morning, and as soon as I opened my eyes, I was like, "What time is it?" And I looked around. It was 4 a.m. I was like, "Well, I was like, there's no way I'm going back to bed."
Is that when you laid in bed with me when you were reading that book?
Yeah, I just snuggled up with you.
Yeah,
you're my favorite.
So I wrote you a note. I was like, well, he's probably going to wake up in a couple hours. I'll let him know, hey. So I left you a note. So I'm like, okay, I'll leave him a note. He'll wake up and see it, and he'll come down to my rescue. Like, he'll come down the stairs like my knight in shining armor.
I can be your hero, baby.
And so I walk down. I sit at the bar by myself. All by myself.
Oh, God.
And I order a drink.
Get over yourself.
But you know what?
Be a man.
I met some people, Richard.
Did you?
Yeah, I met like 4 people.
Tell me who you met. Tell me the people you met.
I don't remember the names.
Oh, God, you're making this up, aren't you?
I was all by myself.
Oh, now it's sad.
But, yeah, I ate some grub, had a beer or two, then came back up, and we started our wonderful Wednesday.
Wednesday was amazing. Okay, so we woke up. Like I said, I woke up at like 4 a.m., went downstairs, smoked a couple cigarettes, came back up here, took a shower, went back down, ate some breakfast. It was good times.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we did a couple of sessions, TED Talk stuff, but then what did we get to do that night, Richard?
TED Talks. No, the TED Talks was interesting because
okay.
TED Talks was interesting because there was a point where one of the speakers was like, "Hey, we have some time in between people announcing or people giving speeches. Would anybody like to promote their podcast?" And I was like, "Yeah, I'll do it."
I
did. No, you looked at me and you were what? Here's what happened. No. All right.
Tell your story, and then I'll tell the truth.
Oh my God. Here's what happened. What happened was I was like, I should go up there, and then I looked at you. And I was like, I'm going to go up there. And you're like, you should. And I'm like, yeah, I should. And so I did. And that was the story. That's all there is to it. Anyway, so I go up there, and she asked me what the MC asked me what the podcast was. So I told him, I said, Language of Romance. I was like, we're kind of a comedy-based podcast. We find, stuff in the news, and we just kind of, riff on it and whatever. And then the example I gave was, I was like, well, our most recent episode
106.
106. I said our most recent episode was about 2 guys that got in a fight, and over an Xbox, they went outside, they were fighting, and one guy decided to bite another guy in the dick. And I'll tell you what, I was standing on the stage, and everyone in the crowd, nobody clapped.
No, nobody did.
There were a couple slack faces.
The MC giggled a little bit.
The MC thought it was funny. The MC was like, I have to listen to this. I don't know if she was being patronizing.
She was.
She was not. No, because afterwards she introduced me to the person she does the show with.
That's a good point.
So there.
She did kick you off the stage, though.
You kicked me off the stage.
But yeah, that was kind of, I thought you did good. The first time you've been on a stage, and I thought you did well. I was proud of you.
Thank you.
But then what did we get to do that night, Richard?
I don't remember.
So that night we had tickets to see. Everybody listening now.
That's right.
Yeah, so we decided Kevin Smith was going to be in town. He was doing one of the keynotes here at the podcast movement. So we're like, well,
Kevin Smith.
Yeah, the guy who inspired us to do our show.
Kevin fucking Smith.
So we went to a comedy club. We went out to eat first. Went to a nice little dive bar. Had a great burger. Last year when we went to Podcast Movement, we kind of had our own little serve. So we make our trip down. So we get done eating at the little dive bar. Like I was about ready to say, last year at Podcast Movement, they had one bar really that we could only go to, and we had a server there that took care of us. We mentioned that story back in Brocation 1.
We did.
She saved your phone.
She did save my phone.
So we go to the bar. It's good food. And Richard puts in the address for the comedy club. We get there, we start walking up, and there's a girl sitting outside eating pizza. And I was like, is this the line? She's like, no, I'm waiting for a friend. Like, okay. Walk in, dude's like, what's your name? Reservation. Give him my name. He gives me a weird-ass stare. I show him my ticket. He's like, oh, this is the wrong one. The other there's a second one downtown.
Oh, yeah, that was my fault.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Yeah, we could have been so much further up in line too.
Oh, we couldn't have been that much farther up.
There's what is a comedy club of what 250 people?
Yeah, it was a 250 seat comedy club, and we were in the about what fourth row.
I mean, yeah,
we
you
were,
super
but I mean,
close.
when I say fourth row, I mean we're talking about we're talking about 15 feet. I was 15 feet from the stage. And in that moment, I was like, holy shit. I was like, Kevin Smith is going to be standing on that stage 15 feet from me.
Yeah.
And then he's going to see me piss my pants.
Keep that in mind, folks. He was 15 feet away from me.
Oh, my God. I tweeted that.
You did.
I did. I tweeted it, and I think I put it on Facebook, too. I was like, this man's going to be 15 feet away from me.
So we get there. We're waiting in line. There's a bar next door, so you can have drinks outside, I guess. So I go in. I got a delicious back porch iced tea.
It took him like 3 tries to remember what it was.
People asked, "What'd you get?" I was like,
"What'd you get?" I don't remember.
As a back
whatever
porch.
the bartender's had.
As a back porch something or another.
It's delicious.
Will you guys be my friends?
God, he's such a lush.
But yeah, so we got in there. Most of the stories I had heard before that he told. So
yeah. I have. I mean, I think if you listen to him as religiously as I do and as religiously as you do, I do think that you hear the same stories. I will say that there were some interesting changes. He mentioned the whole dinner for 5 thing. I've never heard him mention that before. Dinner for 5 with Jon Favreau.
Well, because that was the question
where he met JJ. You know, somebody asked the question, "How did you go with Star Wars?" And he went all the way back to '94, where he met JJ Abrams.
I guess that was new.
And then that was new. I never heard that. And then he talked about being on this show, Dinner for 5, with Jon Favreau. So it was Kevin, Mark Hamill, Stan Lee, and J.J. Abrams.
Yeah. I remember seeing.
Stan Lee, Jason Lee, Mark Hamill, and
that was the one.
J.J. Abrams. Yeah.
So we get out of there. We get back to our hotel and getting ready for.
Still awesome, and still like he was right there.
Oh yeah, we're super close. It was great, fun,
awesome.
We knew we were gonna get to see him the next day because he was a keynote. So
right.
We're super excited about that.
Super.
So we get up.
Shower, and get all changed, and we are down there super early. We got there like an hour before anybody was there.
Yeah, we got to see some pre-shows, and so this is one of the other things that Richard's got to discover about me on this trip is I have to piss all the time.
Dear Lord.
I piss before we get in there.
He has a delicate system, and he has a bladder like a gnat.
I have a super small bladder, so I had to pee once before we got into the room. I had to pee like 2 more times while we're in there. So we're waiting.
Disgusting.
So we're waiting in line. So we got our seats. We're getting ready to watch the show, Richard. So how far away from Kevin Smith were you at this point? You were 15 feet the night before. How far were you this time?
Probably about 8.
8 feet. So you've gotten closer.
8 feet. I've gotten closer. I've closed the distance by half.
So another good speech.
It was it was amazing. I was, like I said, I think I told you this earlier. I didn't think he was going to do a Q&A because he only had like an hour to speak. And I don't know if anybody have ever been to a Kevin Smith Q&A, it's as he says, it's a little Q and a whole fuck ton of A. Yeah. So I figured he was just going to get up and talk, and that's what happened. And as I expected, he went probably about 15, 20 minutes longer than he should have.
He's supposed to, yeah. Yeah, full of time. Somebody walks up, like, okay, you got to be done. He's like, yeah, thumbs up, like 3 or 4 times.
Right.
So this is kind of sad. So
it was sad because he got done. We had been here last year, and last year, the guest. One of the keynote speakers we were so excited to see was Mark Maron. Mark Maron did his show, and as soon as he was done with his show, he just got off the stage, and then he just kind of walked around. He just kind of like walked around and talked to people and hung out, and like it was so cool. Yeah. It was the coolest. I got to sit and like chit chat with him for a couple minutes, like to actually sit and like have a chit chat conversation with him. That was amazing. So great. So Kevin does his thing. He gets off the stage. He, kind of dips into the backstage area. And I was like, okay, well, I guess we're done. And we go to just grab something to drink. And I was kind of down. I was feeling a little down because I was like, I was like, it was cool to hear him talk. I was like, it would have been amazing to like actually, like talk to him.
Yeah, yeah.
To say, how like you're the reason that we're here.
Yeah.
It's you.
Well, you always imagine that in your head. It's like, this is a person that you would love to be able to tell that to face to face. I mean,
yeah.
I've done it before at a Q&A, and I'm sure it's lost a little bit because that was like 100 feet away from
him. Or like get a picture with him or something like that. Yeah. So we go and we get something to drink, and I think both of us are kind of mopey at that point. Like we're walking to our first session. Yeah. Sad Hulk music abound. So we're walking down the hallway. We're about to diverge to head to our rooms, and then as we round a corner,
how so it was basically set up in like a Z. There was conference room, hall with more conference rooms, then another Z with other conference rooms.
Yeah.
So if we would have went to like a panel or one of the ones at the first part of that, we would never have run into them.
No. And that you just totally fucking buried the lead, dude.
Sorry.
So we go around the corner, and we look up, and he's right there.
Well, you were talking because as we were doing this walk, it's like it would have been real cool to meet him because we hung out by the exit area, thinking like, oh well, maybe he'll leave. That was kind of your thought.
Yeah.
And so we're walking by. It's like, man, it would have been cool to meet him. Like, it just sucks. Your head was down. I'm like, there he is. Like, what? Like, there he is. He's right there, hanging out, talking to people. So, we get to walk up and get in line, and I was wearing my Bob Hawk shirt. You were wearing one of our Language of Bromance shirts. And I'm sure we look like two little, like, kindergarten kids going to see their favorite uncle.
We did.
Rich, look, it's Uncle Kev. Uncle Kev. So we both walk up to him right away, and he's like, oh, God.
No, that's not what happened.
That's not what happened. But he looks. You don't remember anything from this.
No, I'm saying, like he asked, like Sean afterwards. Sean was asking me, like, wasn't it great? I was like, I don't know. I was like, the whole thing just like left my brain. Like I blanked so hard. It was like a trauma that just like broke my brain.
Because so we walk up and he looks at you first. He's like, oh man, that's a cool shirt. Talking to you about our Language of Bromance shirt.
Yeah.
And then he looks at my Bob Hawk shirt. And he's like, oh, I like your shirt too. And he says, I almost thought about wearing that, but we're in Chicago, so I thought it'd be kind of, I don't know if he said gauche or a little too much of it. He didn't want people thinking that he was being too much into himself. I was just kind of like, yeah, it'd be cool if you wore this. It'd been awesome. We could matched. But we got to tell him like how awesome it was to meet him, how awesome it was what he's done for us, that we're doing scripts and all this other stuff. And what did we get with him, Richard?
A picture.
We got a motherfucking picture.
He walked up and he was like, I like your he said, I like your shirt. At least I think that's what he said. I don't know. That's what you told me. But he said, I like your shirt. And then he walked up, shook my hand, shook this hand. No.
Shook your left hand?
No, he shook this hand.
Okay.
He shook this hand.
Yeah. Yeah, he shook my right hand as well. It's funny. I don't fangirl out much. And I guess we gotta tell how the whole thing went. So as we start talking, I, had this speech in my head of what I wanted to say. I think I got out, Sean. And Richard being Richard steps up like, oh, I fucking got this. My name is Richard.
I don't think I even said my name.
Okay.
I don't think. I don't remember. But I don't think I said my name. I think all I said was, you are the reason we're here. This was a friendship that was falling apart, and you gave us the inspiration to save it.
Yeah, yeah.
And also, like I did mention that I was like, we were on your network.
Yeah, yeah.
And he kind of looked at me weird, and I was like, no, we're on Pod U.
Yeah, Smodco Pod U.
And he was like, oh, we'll put you on. And I was like, oh, yeah. and then I fell to pieces, and then you picked the ball up because I dropped it hard, just like a medicine ball, just thud. And you were like, oh shit, and you picked the ball up, and then you said,
I'm doing scripts, I'm doing shorts, I'm on a comic. I got a high five after each one of those.
Yeah.
And then I don't remember if he asked if we wanted a picture. If we were like, I think you said, can we?
Yes, because then you started to drop the ball again. I was like, oh my god, can we get a picture? Because as you were talking to him, I was like, get your phone now, get your phone now.
But we got a picture with him, with both of us, and Like I said, I think I've never fangirled out. I don't know if there's anybody I would fangirl out over, but it was definitely that
There
situation.
was.
Yeah,
It happened.
it happened hard.
It happened bad.
But that was and so that was after the keynotes. So we're getting ready to go in sessions, and I think for the next 30, 40 minutes, because it was lunchtime, you and I are just looking at each other.
Okay, I'll tell you what happened immediately after this is he walked away, and both of us just kind of stood there and stared at each other, and then somebody else came up, just kind of casual, like chit-chatty or whatever. And as he was talking, and we were cordial with him, whatever, and he walked away, and I looked at you, and I was like, I can't talk to people right now. I was like, my brain is broken, and I can't. I was like, I don't know what to do. I can't carry on. I was like, I'm gonna go outside and like kind of collect myself, and I think you were kind of like, yeah, me too. So we both just kind of like went off by ourselves, like process what just happened in our own way.
Yeah. So we split off. I went into a conference. The whole time I'm like tweeting a picture and like looking at the picture.
Yeah.
And you call your wife.
I called my wife, and I was like, oh my God. And I told her the whole fucking thing, what happened, or as far as I could remember what happened. And I was on the phone with her, and I was standing next to this escalator, and I'm sitting there and I'm talking. And then I was like, okay, well, I'm going to let you go. And I look up, and I was like, oh shit. And she was like, what is it? And I was like, he's here. I was like, he's at the bottom of this escalator. I'm standing next to an escalator, and he is at the bottom of. I'm standing about halfway. I'm standing next to an escalator, but not towards the end of it. About halfway up.
Yeah.
And he's about like 5 feet away. And I look up, and I was like, he's right in front of me at the bottom of this escalator. And she was like, do you want me to let you go? And I was like, no. Just keep talking to me. Keep talking to me. She's like, I'm not even there, and I'm nervous. I was like, I'm here and I'm nervous. I was like, I think I pissed my pants. He goes up the escalator, and I was like, I have to let you go
and
now.
You missed the perfect time for a good joke too.
Oh my God. Yeah, I did. Yeah, you're right.
The kid is back on the escalator.
That was such a good joke.
I kind of wonder what he would do in that situation.
I don't know. I mean, like, yeah, good one.
Yeah.
You fucking dick.
He's
right.
I'm not worth it.
Oh.
I'm not worth the escalator.
Hello, oncoming traffic.
Time to play my favorite game, Speed Bump. I can't even win that game. They swerved.
So yeah, so that was the highlight of my adult life. No, maybe not adult life. I did have kids.
Yeah,
and I got married.
I guess.
It's up there.
I guess. Do you want to talk about your daughter and her jealousy of it, or?
I texted her the picture, and she was super jealous. She still is. I don't know if we're gonna be on speaking terms when I get home. I guess we'll find out. So then we started going. Then we had the sessions.
Yeah, sessions were okay.
Yeah.
We get done with the sessions, and we go to where did we go to eat that night? Pizza. We had pizza that night.
Was that last night?
Yeah, it was last night. Because a lot of stuff happened that night. That day we got to meet Kevin Smith.
Yes.
We went and watched a movie.
Earbuds documentary.
Earbuds doc. And as we are getting out of that, I was thinking, let's go back to the room. We'll record an episode.
Yeah, we had deep dish pizza.
Deep dish pizza, yeah. It was good. And did you fart?
No. Maybe.
So we're...
I bet you didn't wish we were in the same room now, do ya? Huh.
That's why we do it in separate places. So I was like, okay, we've watched this earbud doc. It's like 11 o'clock or so. Why don't we just go back to the room and record an episode?
Right.
And
I thought that was a terrible idea.
Yeah.
I had a better idea. The movie, the Earbuds movie, while inspiring, it was very inspiring. In my opinion, stop touching your dick in front of the people on Periscope. Oh my God.
My boxers were all jacked up. It was squeezing the berries.
Your bits and bobs.
Yeah, my bits and bobs. It's like somebody was biting them.
So we had... Oh, okay. So saw the documentary. It was inspiring. It had its inspiring moments. but there was a lot of, it was very heavy. It was a very heavy thing to watch.
Yeah.
You know, and so I was done. Like I got done with that, and I felt, emotionally exhausted. And so I didn't think I honestly didn't have it in me to record a show at that point. However, I had a better idea.
Yeah, so we're walking up. I'm like, so what do you want to do? You want to go upstairs and record an episode? And I think you just replied like, or we can go to a karaoke bar.
Yeah, that was my idea.
So we get to make the trek over to this local bar to do a little karaoke.
Yes, I took him to a bar, and I don't. I'm sure most people have gone to a karaoke bar and sang. For those that don't know what it is, you go to a bar, and at this bar they have a person that plays music. The music has lyrics that appear on a screen. There's no actual vocals. You provide the vocals with your own voice. So, Sean has never done this before.
I've never.
He was a karaoke virgin.
I was.
He was very. He doesn't like to admit it, but he was very upset with me.
No, I wasn't upset.
He was upset.
So,
No, he was upset. He was visibly uncomfortable.
I was uncomfortable. I've always been uncomfortable in bar scenes like that. I don't know why.
So I had planned this beforehand because I had already looked. That morning, I looked for bars that had karaoke that were close to where we were at.
Mm-hmm.
And so I found one, and it was, maybe a 10-minute walk.
Yeah, it wasn't very far at all.
No.
It was a nice walk. We got over that bridge, and my heart was racing.
Yeah.
I was hoping we wouldn't find the place. Like, it'd be closed or something weird like that. Because the thing is, I always felt out of my element in bars. Like, I don't know what it is. It's just like, I don't belong here.
if say there was a crowd of outside this window, there's a crowd of 200 people, and I gave you a microphone and played a song, and I was like, sing. I'm gonna play this song. You sing the vocal.
100 people out this window. So
outside this window.
They can't hear me?
No, they can hear you.
But they can't see me?
They can see you.
But I'm just up here. So
You're just up here.
That'd probably make me nervous still.
Okay, my point. You just didn't want to do it because you didn't want to sing in front of people.
Well, no, and it's not just that. That's part of it. No, so my thing is, I've never felt comfortable in bars. And it comes to the fact that I just don't feel like I belong there. So I'm the dude that kind of like tries to stand in the corner and hide, but then you just look like the doinch bag. Just standing there in the corner.
Okay.
So, and then you throw on top of that, it's like, oh, hey, now you're going to sing.
Yeah, you're going to sing in front of these people.
And my concern with that is always, it's like, well, I don't want to pick that song and try too hard but not look good. So then you look like the dude who's just trying too hard that can't do it. Does that make sense?
Yes, but I don't know. It's the same thing I tell everybody because I've done a great grand share of karaoke. The thing that I tell everybody that feels nervous about it or whatever, I'm like, it's a bar full of drunk people. Don't feel self-conscious about it.
Well, and the other thing with that is most of the songs that are like popular, I don't really know very well.
Yeah, most of the songs that people sing aren't popular. I'll tell you the songs that you hear at every karaoke bar every single night. You'll hear Bohemian Rhapsody. You will hear Don't Stop Believing. You will hear you'll hear Barbie Girl.
Oh, that's the one I should have done.
You'll hear Barbie Girl. You'll hear Wannabe by the Spice Girls. But none of those songs are new.
No, yeah.
But you'll hear those every single night.
Gotcha. So you had your song picked. And
I did. I went with Sweet, doing Ballroom Blitz,
which was good. You did a good job.
I thank you, sir.
I don't think anybody knew the song though.
I don't think anybody knew the song either. The KJ, the person that was running it, was down with it.
Yeah, she was pretty pumped for it.
Yeah, she liked it, which is fine. I'll sing for an audience of one.
Yeah. Well, we do a podcast for one. So.
Yeah. Right now we're doing a Periscope for one.
Oh, there's 6 people now.
6?
Yeah.
Why didn't you tell me? Oh my God, I'm so not decent.
I didn't. Let's see. So,
just so I'm married to a girl.
So
what up?
So you're like, dude, just pick a song. It doesn't matter. So I look at he's like, look up the top 25 karaoke songs and just pick one. So I'm going through, and the first one I see that I know is Jimmy Eats World, the middle.
Yeah.
I'm like, all right, I can sing that
It
one.
just takes some time, little girl. You're in the middle of the ride.
Yeah, exactly.
Everything will be just fine.
All right, you gotta stop. Otherwise, you gotta pay for it.
Oh.
And so we get that. So you go up, and he's like, all right, go tell her. I'm like, I can't make that walk, man. I can't make that walk.
So I had to do it. You know why? 'Cause he was 3 drinks in, and he was afraid he'd fall down.
And that drink was delicious.
Oh, dear Lord.
But as I'm sitting there, like, it was like an hour wait, and I'm sitting there pondering it. I'm like playing the middle over and over in my head. I'm like, man, that's kind of a depressing song. It's motivational a little bit, but it's kind of emo. They're an emo band, but
Yeah, but nobody cares.
well, I didn't want to.
Right. I mean, whatever. Like, you had your reasons. Fine, whatever. I didn't want to change it.
I mean,
I didn't want to discourage you. You had a better idea. I'm like,
did.
okay, go with that.
But it's one of those things. Like, you go and do karaoke and you sing Garth Brooks' "The Dance." Like, all right. Well, now
that's another one. Friends in Low Places. That's another one you hear all the time.
I thought about that one because I kind of wanted the crowd to get in it with me because then. But as we're sitting there, we're talking about it because we had mentioned it a little bit before about like what my song would be. I was like, "Shit, it's Eve 6 Inside Out."
Oh yeah,
that's the one I need.
Yeah,
like, go tell her to change it.
I can't do it.
I did though.
That's right, you did.
Yeah, you said don't be a bitch and go tell her. And I didn't know if that was proper etiquette
because I was 4 drinks in, so I was getting a bit mouthy.
Yeah,
you fucking bitch, go tell her.
You get violent when you drink. I get up, you smack me on the ass.
Go on, get him, Tiger.
But I walk up there and I'm like, I'm Sean. I'm the one popping my cherry. And, haha. And like, no laugh. I'm like, damn, this isn't going well off the start. So
yeah, because you're talking to a girl about popping cherries. Oh my God, what could possibly go wrong here?
My karaoke cherry.
Did you mention that?
That was my karaoke cherry?
Yeah.
I thought I did.
I don't know. Did you walk up and be like, I want to pop a cherry? Wait, where are you going?
Who's that man? Who's that guy with the security on his chest? He looks big. Why is he hitting me?
I'm popping your cherry. Oh, no.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Whoop, whoop.
But I tell him, like, yeah, I was wanting to change it to Eve 6 Inside Out if I can. And she's like, go ahead. Yeah, it's fine. We'll do that.
Okay.
But when I came back, I'm like, all right, she switched. I'm like, you're going up there with me though, right? Like, you're my pacifier.
Yeah.
You're my blankie. I needed you there with me.
Because you're Linus and I'm the blankie.
Yes. So when everybody's like, boo this man, you'll stand up and be like, no.
You hooray this man.
This is my friend. So you're like, okay.
I join in. I'm like, fuck that guy.
Yeah. So it's, I can't remember where it was, but you're like, okay, you're 2 away. I'm going to go to the bathroom. And
I left my phone there.
I saw that.
So that way you knew I was coming back.
I didn't know.
I left my phone there.
I was going to take it with me. I was expecting you to like start walking and look snickering. I'm like, he's not going to come back.
I'd stand outside the windows and wave.
But you came back like my blankie you are. And that's a tough song because I couldn't really hear the music very well when I was up there to do it.
No, yeah, with the bar we were in, the music that was dead in the area where you sang, but you could hear it about it was coming out of a speaker about 3 feet from where you stood.
Yeah, and so in that song,
aimed away from you.
In that song, when it kicks on, it's like one chord, and then you start singing.
Like and then you sing.
So I didn't hear that, and all of a sudden it's going. And instead of being like, oh, shit, it started, and just pick a spot and go,
yeah,
I'm trying to catch up.
No.
Like, I was swallowing my down. But as the great safety blanket you were, you're like calmly like, like, oh, okay, I got it. And then I was able to kind of hit it.
Yes. And then I just got quiet.
Yeah.
And I just let you go.
And I sang the whole song.
I wait. There were bits that kind of required a bit of oomph,
mm-hmm.
and so I would kind of chime in with you on those bits.
Yeah.
And then, but most of it, I just let you go.
Yeah, and it seemed like it went okay. You said I got a good job. I don't know who's. So this was my Kevin Smith moment. I blacked out. I'm like,
yeah, you sang, and there was somebody that told you good job. the girl, the lovely lady that was running the show, and myself both asked the crowd to give you a round of applause because you busted your karaoke cherry
Busted it
all over them. And so everybody clapped for you. You had somebody that was like, "You did a really great job," and you were like, "Thanks." You had this. It's delicious. and so then we went back to our seats. I think we left the bar right after that.
No, yeah, we walked right.
Yeah,
out
walked
of
right out of the bar. Drinks were done.
We closed our tab before we sang because it was like 1:30.
Yeah. The bar was closed in like half an hour anyway.
I think at that point, so let's play what if scenario. Let's say that happened at 11:30.
Would you have sang another song?
I would have sang another song. You know what song I would have sang?
What?
Sex and Candy.
Ooh.
So yeah. So next time we go on Brocation, I'll warm up with Eve 6 and then I'll jump into Sex and Candy.
You know, it's Saturday night. The bar's probably open. We could go right now.
I'm sleepy though.
Oh. That's okay, because I brought the bar to you.
All right, so let's see. So yeah, so we left the bar right away. And I was pretty much just telling, like, you were like, yeah, you did all right. Really? Yeah, you did fine. How okay did I do? You did fine. Would I be able to do another one? Yeah, probably. Tell me I'm pretty. I wasn't too drunk. I was, 3 beers in? So, I mean, I had a decent buzz. But
you had like 3. I think I had like 5.
Yeah, and talking with Tiff, she was surprised that I did it just on what I did. Like, she thought I would have been more intoxicated.
Yeah.
To do that. Because she even said, she's like, yeah, there's no way I'd ever do it, no matter how drunk I was.
Okay, in respect to that, okay, my wife, who sings all the time, beautiful voice, sings all the time, even still, she still needs like a drink or two before she, gets up to sing.
And you know what my thing is on that too? I mean, I've told you before that I always wanted to be a country singer. I've always been real big into music. I've always wanted to be the dude on the stage rocking out, right?
I guess we found out that, your mom was, not wrong in asking, what if you can't do that? It's time for my first country show. And then you run off crying.
But, and I never wanted to be the dude that, like, thinks they have talent. Because I always feel like, and you
don't want to think you have talent because then you're afraid you'll come off as an arrogant douche.
Yeah, you don't want to be the karaoke rock star.
Okay.
You know, the dude that walks in there is like, oh, yeah, I got this. That's my Creed.
Wasn't bad.
Really?
For Creed.
But yeah, you don't want to, you don't want to over try and be bad.
No, I get you.
Because I mean, if you should, like, you have a great voice. Like when you're doing like the song you did, the Ballroom Blitz, it's good.
Such a sweetie.
And when you did the first time I ever heard you do karaoke, you did
War Pigs.
Did you do War Pigs?
It was a song War Pigs by Black Sabbath.
Oh yeah. I think the first one I heard anyway was the Mama. You did Mama
I'm Coming Home.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
So I didn't hear the War Pigs one.
Oh.
Or maybe I didn't know it was you singing.
Maybe.
I was like, they got the radio going?
Oh,
sounds like Ozzy.
You. Oh, let's end this show right now. Bring that Periscope back.
We'll have to blur out certain areas. I think it's got to be G-rated or PG-rated. But, I mean, so I want to know your experience because you've hosted some karaokes.
I have.
Do you see that a lot? Like, do you see, like, certain groups of karaoke rock stars? Like, obviously you have the guy who's going up and just being goofy. He knows he doesn't have talent.
You have the guys that come up and they're just, they're in it to like make their friends laugh. Like I'm gonna do a song ironically.
I'm doing Barbie Girl.
Yeah. Or the Spice Girls or whatever, and I'm gonna sing it and then be ironic and make my friends laugh and whatever. And I'm not knocking that.
No, that's
totally fine. Like that's what you want to do. Like whatever. Like it's it's your song. It's your whatever. Like you're doing it. It's fine. You do have people that take it seriously. That like spend like hours agonizing over just the right song that matches their voice.
Like they're karaokeing to impress.
They are.
Like,
they totally are.
And
they sing and they kind of like put a bunch into it, and they're trying to get people to be like, "Oh my god!" Like it's like they're auditioning for American Idol.
That's what I was just gonna say. Like this, like there's something. There's, I guarantee there's an agent in the crowd right now.
Right.
And when I do this rendition,
and those, I mean, like those people, like it's fine, and it's like it's funny because it's a little sad.
yeah, to an extent. I mean,
Some people just have a good voice and just want to entertain.
yeah.
Like they get up and they sing, and like, you know, some people do it because they're trying to rile the crowd up, not necessarily for themselves, but just to rile the crowd up.
Yeah.
You know, they want people like to sing along or whatever. I usually fall in that category. Like I just want people to like sing along and like get into it, into whatever song I'm doing. And then you have people that just pick a song and sing it badly, which is fine.
I know and that kind of made me feel a little good. There's a few people who got up there and like the song started,
and they're just too drunk.
Well, no, I don't know if they just didn't feel comfortable singing it, so they kind of like, you know, it's like
some of that might have been the mic.
Baby black balloon, yay!
So Sean sang his first song, and then we came back here and we went to sleep.
We did. We got back at like 2 a.m. So
it was about 1:32 in the morning.
And we got up for our last day of sessions. Trying to think. I don't know if I met some pretty cool people that I've enjoyed. There's Joel from Always Listening. There was Jason from the Walking Dead cast.
Met a couple people, like reacquainted with some people that we met last year. I met a couple people. I met this guy Ethan Moore, stand-up comedian. Listened to some of his stuff. Super funny guy. I'll tell you what, that guy seemed like a bit of a worker too, because
you talked.
I looked at his Facebook feed, and he was doing his sessions, and then as soon as the sessions were over, he left. And I looked at his Facebook feed. He was doing an open mic at one place, and then I think he was he was like hitting comedy clubs.
Wow.
Doing sets, and I think he did like 3 or 4 clubs until probably like 1 in the morning or something.
Just hitting like random ones, doing like 10-15 minute sets.
Probably. That's my guess. Yeah.
I wonder if he does the same set at each place.
I might change up a bit. Who knows? I don't know.
But I think the coolest thing. So we came here last year, like you said, we met a few people last year, and we re-met them this year.
Yeah.
When we ran into one of the first ladies that we met last year.
The ladies.
Well, there's 2 girls and a guy that we hung out with quite a bit last year. And when the one saw us, I mean, how are we known at Podcast Movement?
Romance guys. That was us,
guys.
You ever notice when they found us, we were always together?
That's true. No, I saw them once without you.
Oh,
when I went to get my T-shirt.
Oh,
I walked by and they were there.
That's great. That's a great story.
Yeah. They said, "Where's your sidekick?"
Oh, you're a bastard.
I don't know if I was around when that happened, but I guess apparently somebody called you my.
You were right there.
Oh, was I?
Yeah.
I know you said somebody called you my sidekick, and that burned you pretty hard.
Yeah. Fuck you, sidekick.
I'm the Batman of this boat.
That's bullshit.
It's all right. So somebody's got to play second fiddle, and apparently it's not me.
Oh, you're a bitch.
But I mean, that's been the most part for today. We, I guess the only other big thing is we went to the Billy Goat, which was the cheeseburgers.
Yes, I had to explain that to him. I had to explain it. If nobody knows, okay. See, you just totally there's a whole story behind that. Okay, so the Billy...
I like to Quentin Tarantino it.
The Billy Goat is a restaurant that is underneath... Billy Goat's a restaurant underneath the Chicago Tribune building. And if nobody knows what this restaurant is, there was a sketch way, way back in the day on Saturday Night Live. There was a sketch. It had Dan Aykroyd, Bill Murray, and Belushi in it. And people come in and they're trying to order like a tuna sandwich and grilled cheese, and like, no grilled cheese, cheeseburger. Cheeseburger. And I'm like, well, I guess I'll get a cheeseburger and a Pepsi. No Pepsi, Coke. And or no Coke, Pepsi.
Yeah.
And like, okay, I'll have a cheeseburger, Pepsi. Cheeseburger, Pepsi, cheeseburger. That's a cheeseburger. And then the waitress would come up and she'd be like, cheeseburger, Pepsi and cheese. No fresh chips. So anyway, If anybody knows that sketch, you can look it up. You just look up the sketch. It's based on this restaurant called the Billy Goat, where you walk in and you ask for like cheeseburger or whatever, cheeseburger chips, and they do it. They're like cheeseburger, double cheeseburger, cheeseburger. That's amazing.
That was good grub too. Super
It was.
cheap.
Yeah, totally.
$14 for 2 double burgers and chips.
Yeah,
good stuff. Takes us to about right now.
Oh, now we're recording. Now we're recording our show.
So yeah, this Brocation 2016. What's been your biggest takeaway from that?
I think when it comes to things like when it comes to this, I think after 3 days, 4 days together, like it reminds me why we started doing the show in the first place.
Oh yeah, I agree.
Like the whole all 4 days, like all I've been doing is just cracking jokes trying to get you to laugh. Like that's been like whenever we sit and talk or do anything, like I've just been trying to make you giggle because it's so satisfying to me for some reason.
I think I can't remember. We went to that first bar. I don't know what the joke was you said, but it made me laugh super hard. And one of the waitresses walking by like is laughing at us.
Yeah,
I laugh, and because it just kind of goes on more. I was like, I tell you, like, so at one point there's somebody that basically told me that like they hated my laugh.
Oh
like,
yeah,
somebody in my life that shouldn't be telling you like I hate your laugh told me that, and so I've always been super self-conscious about it. And here we are at this, and I'm cracking. You're making me crack up, and you even say to this day, you're like, I see you laughing, and I see you look around for somebody to judge. But
it's like you laugh and then you immediately want to apologize.
Exactly.
You're like, sorry, everybody.
But I think it's been a good trip. Like you said, yeah, it kind of reminds us why we do this. Because I mean, yeah, we do it, different places all the time, so we can't really do it face to face or have just a normal repertoire.
Right. Where we just, and that's the thing is like we just, we sit and we talk, and we sit and we talk for an hour, and like we, there's I mean, while there isn't a structure to our show, there is a structure.
Yeah.
We look at something, we read a story or whatever, and we sit and we make funny on it, and that's all fine and good, but for both of us, I think it reminds us that humor comes from somewhere, and it's just the two of us. Like if we didn't pick something out of the news every week, like we'd just sit and crack jokes at each other anyway.
Yeah, I mean, like this whole time we have like a little situation that happened, and we'd make it a 10-minute joke.
Yeah,
it's kind of cool being able to share our show with some people too that have listened to us. Like it sounds like you guys have a real good repertoire. You guys are bouncing all these things off of each other.
Yeah.
And you're like, oh, so you subscribed, right? Like, no.
Oh, God, no.
I'm super offended.
Are you fucking kidding me?
Well, I guess
the other thing about people biting each other in the dick. I have children.
Well,
I'm a person. I'm a human being.
I have a dick.
I don't need to be degraded by listening to your filth. Thanks for listening.
Do you want a bumper sticker?
Leave a review.
Yeah, I do want a bumper sticker. I need to tell the security who to take away. Let's take down the cop station. It's like, wow, there's a lot of our bumper stickers here. Well, I guess
vandalism.
I didn't stick these.
I think we should. If we're arrested for anything, it should be gentrification. These stickers are gorgeous.
Well, I guess, do you want to throw out any Richard's closing thoughts?
Bring it back. Let's bring it down. I think if there's any. Anybody out there that has a best friend, if you have a best friend, I think at any given point during a year, you should find that best friend and go away for like 3 or 4 days and just do shit together. Go away and do shit together because, I mean, like I said earlier, this reminds me that we, there's a reason that we do this show. You have a best friend. Everybody's got a best friend. And if you don't, you should, because they're amazing. If you have a best friend, you should take 3 days out of your 365-day calendar and remind yourself why you have a best friend. And I think, why are you looking at me with those sad eyes?
I was just gonna ask, when are you taking your trip with your best friend?
Oh.
Oh, that's when you're supposed to say it's you, Sean.
Oh. Don't call me next week.
I'm busy.
I'm busy. I'll be away.
I'll be with Jason.
Oh. Or
Glenn.
Forgot his name. He's my new best friend. What's it? Glenn. Glenn's my best friend. Yeah, that's probably the only thing. That's the thing I can wrap this whole thing up with is we do this, and we have a reason behind it. We go to this podcast movement and we sit and we chit chat with other people and build a relationship and try and learn about ways to make our show better and find ways to get get it into more ear balls. But kind of a behind the scenes reason is it's a chance for the two of us to like reconnect and remind ourselves, hey, we're best friends too. That's my closing thought.
I kind of think that we're in a good shape too, because I can imagine if we did this all the time, like face to face, you'd almost get numb to it. So it's kind of cool that we do this in 2 different places.
Oh yeah.
A decent majority of the time, but then we get back together. It's like, oh yeah, we are.
Yeah, I could see that.
All right, well, I guess I will close this up with a little bit of housekeeping.
Please, let's hurry this up so you can put on pants.
Oh man, but I'm so comfortable. I want to start off with
it's
some.
Looking at me.
It's leaking. Even it's got tears. I want to share some awesome news. If you are in the Kansas City area on August 13th.
Oh, yeah, big news. Yeah. Big news. Preface this by saying big news. This is an event. This is a thing, and I am excited. I am super excited.
Yes.
And Sean should be super excited, too.
I am beyond excited. Because
oh, my God. I could see the elation in your face.
Richard and I are going to be doing our first ever live podcast.
We're doing this live, bitches. We're going full throat in your face. This is gonna be Sean. This is gonna be me. Then we're gonna be on a stage, and it's gonna be awesome.
It's gonna be grand. Because we're going to be at the Kansas City.
I gotta take these headphones off because I gotta jump around. Because I'm gonna dance. Oh God! Oh, wow! I got a long microphone cord.
Yeah, you do.
Oh look! Whoa! Okay, I'll put pants on after this. But yeah, we're doing a show live. It's gonna be amazing. We're doing our Suicide Squad draft.
Yes, we are.
This is gonna be Sean and I. We're bringing it down to 5. We usually do 7, but we're going to 5. We're picking our 5 characters to put into our Suicide Squad.
Yes, sir.
And we're doing it live in front of a studio audience. And I hope everybody can come. And if you can't come, pick 5 people and tell them to go. If you have a baby, just wheel a stroller in there and just set it in front. It's fine.
Yeah, it'll be from 2 to 3 at the Kansas City Comic-Con on August 13th. I believe that's in the big convention center at Kansas City. So we will be there. We'll be there probably all day. So we'll be passing out all kinds of bumper stickers. Come up and see us. We'll both be wearing.
Come up and see us. Talk to us. Tell us why you hate us so much,
or why you
tell
love
us. Why. Or tell us. You can tell us why you love us. I'm kind of leaning more towards. Let me tell you why I think you should stop doing what you're doing. And then we'll be like, we know.
Well,
we've heard it all before.
They can tell us what their karaoke song is.
They could.
But yeah, so make sure August 13th from 2 to 3 at the Kansas City Comic-Con. Please come check us out.
Please.
All right, so I'll do our normal housekeeping now.
Yes.
Visit our website. We're at languageofbromance.com. It's the brand spanking new website. We're also on Twitter at languageofbro. Email us at eatthebeaver at languageofbromance.com. Like us on Facebook and subscribe and leave a review on Google Play Music, iTunes, and Stitcher.
And don't forget to check us out on the Pod Bros Network.
The best podcast site on the internet.
Yeah.
And if you want to join the LOB Army,
who wouldn't?
Check out our Patreon account. It's www.patreon.com/languageofbromance.
We got patches.
We got patches. We've got all kinds of levels.
Do they know? Have they seen the patches?
Yeah, I've tweeted it before.
Okay.
I've sent it out to a few people as
well.
All right. Was there anything else before I close her out?
No.
All right. Well, that's all the bromance we have for this show. I'm Sean.
And I'm Richard.
And I say we eat the beaver. I was trying to do Inside Out, but I couldn't remember how it went.
We eat the beef.
That's tough to do.
I say we eat the beef.